I expect to be taken care of. Pick me up or call me an Uber.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So before we get into the video today, we want to ask you guys to please like the video and also subscribe to the channel. And over on Patreon, we have some videos and exclusive content over there as well, so go check that out.
If he wanted to, he would. Hear me out. I went on a date with a guy last week and it was a good date. We had a fun time together. He's a big-time lawyer. He owns 3 to 4 cars. He's doing really well in life. You guys know I'm a model. I'm new to the city. Transplant. Don't even have a car yet. Like, still building up my life out here. Regardless, I expect my date to either pick me up or Uber me to the date. That is just my standard. The first date, he was a perfect gentleman. He picked me up and everything. He calls me today for a second date. He wants to go golfing. I said, great. What time are you picking me up? He's like, well, it's out of the way to pick you up. I just recommend you Uber to me and then we can go on our date. And then I wasn't sure if he meant me Uber myself or him Uber me. So I hung up and I texted him. I was like, hey, I'm excited for Saturday, but just to clarify. He calls me up and he's like, can you clarify your text message? And I said, I was wondering what you meant by the Uber. Were you going to call me an Uber or did you want me to call an Uber for myself? And he said, I recommend you call an Uber for yourself. And I said, oh, well, since this is a date, I prefer you to Uber me or you can pick me up. And he's like, oh, well, I think you could just do it yourself. And my thing is, yes, I can do it myself, but you're asking me on a date. I expect to be taken care of. Pick me up or call me an Uber. The notion that it's too far or too out of the way for the date.
All right, so let's just pause right here. No disrespect to her, but she is not qualified to be talking like this. I don't want to get into the specifics, but oh, hell no.
For me, I guess when I'm hearing this, I'm like, this is very entitled, right? When you go on a date and and if you're genuinely there just trying to talk to somebody, talk to that person and really get to know them because you have genuine interest in them, right? So you're not really thinking, at least in my head, I'm not thinking about like, oh, he has to pay for my way to get to the date. Like that should, especially on a first date, come on. Like that's very, like you're pushing it right now. You know what I mean? And I think she was taking advantage because she knew that he's a lawyer and he has all this money, he was flashing all that stuff. So she wanted to take advantage, being like, oh, so you're getting me the Uber.
It's an inconvenience for me because now I have to pay for part of this date. I have a problem with that. And when I think about it, you guys, like some women, my sister, for example, she won't even pay for an ice cream at the end of the date. And she's been dating her guy for a couple years now, but even the first few months of their dating, she refused to pay for anything. She didn't pay for anything. He was like, can't you just pay for an ice cream after dinner? And she's like, no. And guess what? She moves in with this man. They've been together for 3 years, about to get married. He picked that girl. He didn't pick the girl that was like trying to be nice and pay for her own Uber and pay for her own meal.
Generosity is an incredible characteristic to look for, okay? I think in both men and women. So I think it's good to have like it reciprocated. So if the man is going to be generous with his time and his money and his resources and wanting to take you out and whatnot, the woman should also display that same effort or similar, at least to what you can offer. You know,
right?
Like, don't be selfish and. Like,
I mean, just to add to that, a man's primary reasoning for taking a woman out and spending and providing her security, so on and so forth, is her looks. That's what it is.
Well, to get something out of it, right? Like you want a relationship or like something like sex or whatever.
You want my money, I want the sex.
Yeah,
that's initially what it is. If I can stand you, stomach you, and you're an asset to my life, I'm able to get you on my program, and you know you bring me peace and joy, and you're inspirational, so on and so forth. Yeah, let's get into a relationship and potentially get married, right? Yeah. But it starts somewhere, and I think women don't understand that. It's an exchange of value.
He picked the girl that refused to pay for shit, refused to pay for anything for his ass, and he is in love. He's about to put a ring on it. He pays all the bills. They live together. He pays for everything. And yet, when they first started dating, he tried to play her. He was like, oh, can you just pay for this? No, I'm not paying for anything. Take it or leave it. He took it. So if he wanted to, ladies, he would. Okay, keep your standards high. That's all I gotta say. Broke men complain about paying for anything. The date, parking, anything. Like, they complain. How I know I'm talking to a broke man versus a man who's not rich, not even rich, just has a job, has a place, financially stable as a grown adult should, right? It be the complaints. Like, I know right away when I'm talking to a guy who I just swiped right on, we matched, and he's talking about, oh, but why don't, we go to a park or something for the first day. Why don't we, it doesn't always be about money. It could just be about us spending time. We could be just hanging out at the beach, and I'm fine with that. But I know you're saying it because you're broke. Don't deny it.
Just because a man wants to have his initial investment low doesn't necessarily mean that he's broke.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just trying to get to know you. If anything, I actually encourage men to have that initial date as extremely low as possible, because you don't want to spend $150, $200 on somebody that's going to use you or potentially just on a foodie date.
Same one that says, oh, we should go 50-50 on rent if we live together because women are empowered now. No! I get rejected by Tracy Morgan yesterday. If you don't know him, look him up. I'm walking around the Bronx, minding my own business. Tracy comes blasting music, 90s music in his amazing car, obviously wanting attention. I say, hey. He's like, hey, and then looks back at his driving wheel. So I'm like, okay, that was weird. He turns the corner. Then I see him look at this 18, 19-year-old Latina girl, young, cute girl, and he's like, get in the car. Get over here in the car. I'm like, what is going on? Clearly, I'm not his type. He likes young, really young Latina women from the Bronx that he picks up on a Saturday evening. So girls, if you fit the description, just know Tracy Morgan is checking for you. Okay, get that money, sis. Get that money. We all win at the end of the day. I need one of y'all to snag him up because he is checking for y'all in the Bronx. 18, 19 Latina women, he's checking for you, okay?
She doesn't realize that men are visual creatures. And unfortunately for her, she's overweight. She's about 35% body fat. And for Tracy Morgan, if I'm a multimillionaire and I see a woman that's in shape and hot, chances are I'm going to gravitate towards that. So I think the problem in today's society, it's telling a lot of women in general that, it's all good. You can be overweight. Yeah. Don't worry about it, sis. Showing plus size women on magazines and billboards and making it more acceptable. But it's actually a detriment to a lot of these young women because men aren't attracted to that. Yeah. Like they're just not, you know what I mean? And if you're a oversized woman, you're going to be overlooked making videos on TikTok. So it is what it is.
I don't know why she's over here trying to advocate for other women to be like, hey, listen, if you want Tracy Morgan, he's looking for your type, so go get the bag. It's like...
The bag's not going to make you more attractive.
What is going on?
That's what she doesn't understand, right?
Yeah.
She's thinking, let me get the bag, sis, and I'm going to have more high-value men that are going to come my way. Yeah. If anything, that's going to be a deterrent because your boss babe personality, you being overly assertive, getting to the bag, being aggressive, all that good stuff, ultimately that's going to shun the men away from wanting to approach you and actually having a relationship with you, right? So I think the real message should be focus on your diet, focus on your health and fitness, right? Be more feminine, right? Work on your physical appearance, put chapstick on, these are... These are the things.
I want to hear from you guys as well. On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate her entitlement? Leave a comment below and let us know what your thoughts are.